There are only 51 LEGO Simpsons minifigures, but a lot of them have references and secrets you might not know about, like that a version of Bart has a slingshot printed on his back, or that a version of Homer has a stain from the rib witch. It doesn't end here though, because a lot of these minifigures come with items, like Dr. Hibbert, who has the X-ray of the crayon in Homer's brain. There are only 51 minifigures, but there's a lot to cover, so let's start with Series 1 of the collectible Simpsons minifigure packs. Now, since this was the first pack, a lot of these minifigs are completely default and don't come with anything special, but some of them definitely need to be talked about. So let's start with everyone's favorite little rascal, Bart. Bart comes with his lime green skateboard, but the hidden gem is his back printing. He has a slingshot printed on his back that goes down onto his shorts, which actually wasn't on him in the Simpsons house set, which came out first. So this was a really cool addition that no one expected. The slingshot is Bart's signature weapon for his pranks throughout Springfield, so obviously LEGO had to include it. They could have just given him a physical slingshot piece as an accessory and called it a day, but instead they went the extra mile and made it part of his design. Before we keep going though, I need to tell you something special about these minifigs from Series 1, because this wasn't just any regular release. Series 1 was the very first licensed collectible minifigure series LEGO ever made. Before this, every minifigure pack was just generic LEGO characters, but The Simpsons changed everything and paved the way for Disney, DC, and Marvel series that followed. But it gets even crazier, because every single Simpsons minifigure has a unique head mold to match how they look in the show. This was the first time LEGO created an entire series without a single standard headpiece, which is honestly insane when you think about it. They could have just slapped some printed faces on regular heads and moved on, but they didn't. They made custom molds for every single character, and that's part of what makes these minifigures so memorable. Anyways, next let's talk about Maggie, because she comes with one of the best references in the entire series. Her accessory is Bobo, Mr. Burns' childhood teddy bear, and this references the Season 5 episode Rosebud, which is a full-on parody of Citizen Kane where Mr. Burns desperately searches for his lost teddy bear.
Give me my bear, Simpson.
Only to find out that Maggie has it. The attention to detail on this thing is ridiculous. Bobo has a tear on his belly showing stuffing, a dangling eye, and really rough stitching, just like how he is in the episode. Speaking of attention to detail, Ralph Wiggum comes with one of the most heartbreaking Simpsons references ever. He has a Valentine's Day card with a train reading "I choose you," which is from Season 4, Episode 15, I Love Lisa. In this episode, Lisa gives Ralph this card out of pity, but Ralph actually thought she liked him, which led to one of the saddest moments in the entire show. But did you know that this was actually based on a real story? Screenwriter Al Jean got a similar Valentine in 3rd grade, and he loved it so much that he had the phrase inscribed on his wedding ring. So this isn't just a reference to the show, it's a reference to a real-life event that inspired the episode, and now it's a LEGO accessory. But now let's talk about Grandpa, because his accessory might be the most famous one in the entire theme. He comes with a newspaper that says "Old Man Yells at Cloud," and if you've been on the internet at all since like 2015, you've seen this meme before. It comes from Season 13, Episode 13, The Old Man and the Key, where Abe uses this newspaper clipping as the photo for his driver's license. The image has become one of the most popular Simpsons memes on the internet, so putting it on an actual printed tile is genius. They could have put anything on that piece, but they chose something everyone's seen before, which was a great idea. Ned Flanders might be more perfect though, because he comes with 2 accessories, and both of them tell you everything you need to know about his character. The first one is a toolbox that says "Property of Ned Flanders," which is obviously referencing how Homer is always stealing his stuff. But the second one is way more interesting. It's a white mug that says "I Heart Southpaws," which references Ned being left-handed. He's extremely proud to be a lefty, so much in fact that he opened the Leftorium, a store selling products for left-handed people in the episode when Flanders failed from Season 3. The store isn't talked about in that many episodes, but Ned being left-handed is a pretty important trait for his character. But now let's jump to Series 2, because this is where things really start getting interesting. Homer shows up in his formal blue suit carrying a heart-shaped box of chocolates, and Marge is wearing her elegant orange dress with white gloves, red lipstick, a blue purse, and red flowers. Both of these outfits directly reference Season 1, Episode 13, Some Enchanted Evening. In this episode, Homer brings Marge a wilted rose and chocolates to apologize for neglecting her, and they go on a romantic date. But did you know that this was actually supposed to be the first Simpsons episode ever? It was the original pilot, but it had to be delayed and reanimated because of severe quality issues. The animation was so bad that they just could not air it first, so they had to push it back and fix it. So not only is LEGO technically referencing the first episode ever made, they're also referencing an episode with a really cool story behind it, which makes it even better. Series 2 also gave us Bartman, which is Bart's superhero alter ego. Bartman first appeared in Season 2, Episode 21, 3 Men and a Comic Book, when Bart needed a costume for a comic convention discount. But he's more famously known for season 18's Revenge is a Dish Best Served 3 Times, that had a full Batman parody origin story. His accessory is his trusty slingshot, which makes sense since obviously he's still Bart. But the thing is, Bartman isn't the only superhero in series 2, because Milhouse shows up as Fallout Boy. Milhouse is wearing a green mask, a blue costume, and a lime green cape. And this references season 7, episode 2, Radioactive Man from 1995. In the episode, Milhouse was casted as Fallout Boy in the Radioactive Man movie, beating out Bart, who was an inch too short. There's something you might not know about Fallout Boy though. The band Fallout Boy actually got their name from this character after someone shouted it out in the crowd at one of their first shows. So not only is this a reference to The Simpsons, but it's also a reference to a real band that was inspired by the show. Lisa also makes an appearance in series 2, and her accessory is Snowball 2, the family's black cat. Snowball 2 replaced the original Snowball, who was white, and shows up all throughout the show. The Simpsons family just isn't complete without their pets, so it's a good thing Santa's Little Helper also came to play in series 2. So if you collect both series, you can actually have the entire Simpsons family with all of their pets. It's one of those things where LEGO clearly planned it out from the beginning, making sure collectors had a reason to buy both series to complete the family. But now let's talk about Hans Moleman, because this guy might be one of the most tragic characters in all of Springfield. He's always dying in different accidents, only to come back later like nothing even happened. But his accessory is a printed tile of his revoked driver's license. This references the episode Principal Charming, where he fails his driver's test not once, but twice. He failed the first time because of an eye exam, but the second time he failed as soon as he hit the gas pedal. Somehow this guy is 31 years old with cataracts so bad that he can't even see, and this driver's license bit is one of his best, so of course LEGO had to give him one to honor it. Moving on to Edna Krabappel, Bart's 4th grade teacher, she comes with a pink mug and a printed tile showing Woodrow, which is actually a picture of NHL legend Gordie Howe. This references season 3, episode 16, Bart the Lover, where Bart pranks his lonely teacher by catfishing her as a man named Woodrow, using Howe's photo. But here's where the backstory gets interesting. The writers originally wanted to use Johnny Unitas, but couldn't get the rights, so Al Jean, who is a Detroit Red Wings fan, suggested Gordie Howe instead. But Waylon Smithers has one of my favorite references in this whole video. He comes with a Malibu Stacy doll that of course has a new hat, which is from season 5, episode 14, Lisa vs. Malibu Stacy. In this episode, we find out that Smithers has the world's biggest Malibu Stacy collection, and we see him running with all of the little girls to try and get the doll first, which is obviously hilarious, but he's got to build up his collection somehow. Actually, I lied before. The accessory with Dr. Hibbert might actually be my favorite. He comes with an x-ray of Homer's brain, but it isn't just any x-ray. It's referencing season 12, episode 9, Homer with no E, where we find out why Homer's so stupid. When he was a kid, he had a habit of shoving crayons up his nose, and apparently one of them never came back. Eventually, it made its way up to his brain, and made Homer into the stupid guy we all know. The best part of this episode is when Homer asks his doctor how he never noticed the crayon before, and Hibbert tells him his thumb always covered it up on the x-rays.
My thumb must have covered up the crayon every time.
It's such a ridiculous explanation, but it fits perfectly with the show's humor. All of these minifigures so far have been in packs, so now let's talk about some that came in actual sets. Homer in the Krusty Burger set has a stain on his shirt, and this is a reference to the Rib Witch. For anyone who doesn't know, the Rib Witch is this legendary sandwich from season 14, episode 15, I'm spelling as fast as I can, where Homer becomes completely obsessed with it. He follows the Rib Witch tour around the country like a rock band, and the sandwich becomes this mythical thing that everyone wants.
I'll give you anything for it.
Homer literally can't get enough of them, so it only makes sense that he'd have a stain on his shirt. I mean, this is Homer we're talking about here. Krusty the Clown in the Krusty Burger set also has a special outfit. It's a reference to the episode Coming to Homerica from season 20, where Krusty launches a veggie burger campaign. In the episode, the Krusty Burger gets named the unhealthiest fast food place in the world.
Studies show your Krusty Burger is the unhealthiest fast food item in the world.
So Krusty tries to fight the allegations by making a vegetarian burger called the Mother Nature Burger. But unfortunately, one of the ingredients got contaminated by rat meat. So not only was it not vegetarian, but everyone ended up getting food poisoning too. LEGO basing Krusty's outfit on this episode is pretty good, because it's one of his most memorable business failures, and there really are a lot of them. There's one other real Simpsons set, the Quickie Mart, and in this one, Chief Wiggum got something special that he'd never gotten before. This version of him comes with donut stains printed on his uniform and in the corner of his mouth. himself. This is a direct nod to his cop and donut stereotype from the show, and honestly, it's such a simple detail that makes the minifigure so much better. Chief Wiggum is constantly eating donuts throughout the series, and since he's right outside the place he's always buying them from, it's no wonder he has stains all over himself. It's the kind of thing where LEGO could have easily left it out and nobody would have complained, but they added it anyway because it makes the character so much more authentic. These minifigures are hiding more than just references though. The Simpsons minifigures were the first ones to have short legs molded in 2 different colors to make shorts like they did for Bart. Before this, if LEGO wanted to make shorts, they'd either paint them or give up and make each leg one color. But the Simpsons changed that forever. A lot of minifigures these days have multicolor molds for their legs, and it's all because of the Simpsons. They didn't just revolutionize molds though. Itchy and Scratchy were some of the first minifigures to have fully rubber heads. Remember, these guys came out back in 2014, and back then, it really wasn't that common to find a minifigure like this. The only one I can think of is the shark from the Atlantis theme, which came out a few years before, but now there are loads of minifigures with rubber heads. The Simpsons minifigures were not only a huge success, but they were a great experiment that showed LEGO what they could get away with. The cool thing about the minifigs in Series 1 is that they were in the special episode Brick Like Me from Season 25, Episode 20, which came out just a few days after the minifigures were released. In the episode, Homer wakes up in a LEGO version of Springfield, and it's basically one giant love letter to LEGO. The timing of this episode couldn't be better, and I think we can all agree that it's a good thing the ones in real life didn't come out like the ones from the episode. The custom head molds look so much better. But what was your favorite minifigure reference in this video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.